Hello, welcome to Tommy Edson. I hope you're all well. Very quick video here. Just responding, reacting. This is a reaction channel after all. Reacting to Nuno Espirito Santo giving his first media interview for West Ham. It's just been aired about 25 minutes ago on the West Ham YouTube channel. What do I think? Well, judged by a lot of the comments in the video as well, lots of people are sold. Lots of people are kind of buying into what Nuno was saying. Like, he's saying the right things for me. He was saying that, look, a lot of managers, in fact, virtually every manager kind of says the right things when they get into post. And he wasn't really drawing in on anything about the club, about what's gone on behind the scenes. But what he was drawn in on was, or what he was focusing in on, was the relationship with the fans. And what he was basically saying, look, we've got to give them something. So for me, that immediately tells me that he's identified what one of those stumbling blocks is. We need to give something so the fans can support us back. So he sees that. He sees that already. He also said, you know, it's like building blocks. And so this is kind of what I've been saying. Don't expect too much too early from Nuno Espirito Santo, all the players that we've got, because it's a building block. What he did say, I thought was quite interesting. He said that the players, you know, it's about a mental thing. You know, I'm paraphrasing it. It's a mental thing, but they got to know where we're at. Well, I can tell you where we're at right now, Nuno. We're shit. We're right at the rock bottom here, and we've been there for a long, long time. So you got your work cut out. But it's interesting that he's saying that the players probably don't know me, but I know the players. And in fact, he studied them. He's been watching West Ham for a long time, of course. You know, from an outsider looking in, you could always see what the problem is. Defensively weak. He kind of focused in on his relationship with Max Kilman as well, obviously, because they had that relationship at when Kilman was under him at Wolves. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to try and repair that or build up Kilman again for this. And it kind of makes sense, right? But it's really about how he sets up with the players that we've got. We can't bring any other players in now. How he sets up with the crop players that we've got, and also if he brings any of the youth players into the fold. But it's building blocks. So this, you can already tell what he's going to do. In that, he's going to focus on making us secure defensively, making us hard to beat, and then building on from there. So this is what to expect, everybody. I think he talks a good game in that he was saying the right things. I think he knows that we're shit. There's a lot of work here. He's taken on a couple of training sessions, whatever it is. He's had meetings with the players. There's lots of images coming out now of him talking with the players and having laughs and, you know, engaging and all that kind of stuff. But he's got a big job on his hands. Club, you know, West Ham are a big club. Make no mistake about it, they are a big club. We're in a total disarray, a total shambles behind the scenes and on the pitch. And it's like he recognises that this is where we're at. I wouldn't be surprised if they've had some frank discussions behind the scenes in his interview to say, look, you know, this is where we're at. This is where your club at before you got hired. This is where you're at with the club, the performances. This is why you got all your fans walking out after half an hour. This is why there's so much bad taste around the club. You know, you've got to do your part, but I've got to be able to do my part in the training pitch and also on the field. Then in the future, you're going to have to bring me some players. You're going to have to support me to change this thing around. Because luck and desire is just not going to change this around overnight. It's going to be a long, slow progress. There's going to be lots of people out there, lots of negatives out there where people saying, oh, you know, it's just going to be the same old crap football and everything. And I kind of agree with that, but I also don't believe this is a Nuno especially problem. I think this is a combination of the players that we've got, the mentality that he's going to have to break down, and it's Nuno as well. I think it's a combination that might lend itself to that kind of football initially. But I do believe, I hope more than I believe, I've got to say, that he might be the right kind of manager. I just got a feeling that it sounded good to me. I've got to say it sounded good. And maybe I'm just one of these fickle fans that I just want to, you know, my opinion changes like the wind. But I watched that and I thought, do you know, first of all, he was more articulate than I thought he was going to be. You know, he was more articulate. I think he understood straight away. He came across as understanding the fan problem with the way we play. Look, most of the fans have got a problem with the board and the ownership and the structure and where we're on as a club, a shit show of a club that we are behind the scenes. But you know, I think he fully understood our disappointment in the way we've been playing, how we've been structured in terms of tactically for the last, well, even under Moyes, right? Yeah, I know we had success in the Conference League, but in terms of overall, it hasn't been great football. So I think he understands that, and he definitely understands that we want to bring stuff to the fans so they can support us in return. Paul, hi, Paul and Michelle Stewart. Nuno used 2 academy players at Forest and used them 3 times. Okay, that's another question, isn't it? The question is he going to use any of the use? I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. I wouldn't be surprised, and I say I'm hopeful that he will. But I'm not certainly saying that he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna look at the players that we've got and see tactically, number one, defensively, number 2, defensively midfield, and then he's gonna make us more compact and just pressing on the opposition. And I think I'd have to watch it again. But I actually suggest you go and watch it on the West Ham YouTube channel. But I think he said one word that really turned it for me in this interview. Let me know if you're watching this later in the comments. Let me know what you think. But he used the word something like, and I can't remember what the word was. When teams come to us, we've got to make it hell for them. And I love that. I love the fact that he's saying, no, we've got to make it hell. It's got to be a fight. They can't come here or we go and play anywhere else. And it's an easy day at the office for them. And that's probably what I've been saying for the longest time. Saying teams know how to play against us. We're easy to beat. We're easy. They already know what our team's going to be. They already know how we're going to set up. They already know that we're going to be weak, and set plays and, under corners. They know all that. And so he's basically turned around and said, no, hold on a minute. That's going to, I'm reading between the lines here, that's got to stop right now. Any team that comes to play us, they know they're in for a dogfight. They know they're in for hell. And I love that. That's fighting talk me. That's a general. That's a general just about to send his troops into battle. I love that. That's what you need. You need some kind of rousing speeches there. And for me, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I loved it. I loved that from Nuno, that, it's going to be hell when you come to West Ham. Well, it's about fucking time, isn't it? It's about time that we turn this around. And I'm hopeful. I'm not expecting too much from the Everton game. I think it's just way too early. But what I'm really hoping for, that we put in some kind of fighting performance. I'm really hoping that within a week that he's been working with the players, we put on an even greater fighting performance against Arsenal. Again, not expecting great things in terms of result, but I am expecting, hopeful of a much better performances and a fighting performance. Where I am expecting something from Nuno is definitely the first home game against Brentford. That's what I'm hoping for. He'll have the international break to work with, to consolidate his ideas, and to really look at those players that haven't gone off in international duty. They have stayed behind, and make sure that they are fully focused and on point, ready to take on Brentford. But I'm really intrigued to see if what he's saying in this interview, whether it can actually go on to the players, even for Everton, if he can impress himself on these players to go in there with a fighting mentality. Can you structure the team tactically and also positionally with the right players just to get us over the line and building blocks? Remember, he's saying this, it's a building block. We've got to know where we are now, and for the players to know where we are. As I said, that's an easy thing because we're at rock bottom, right? Know where we are and where we need to get to, and then incrementally it's going to get better. That's his plan. That's where he sees it. Because you don't have to be freaking Einstein to understand that we're in a bit of a terrible place, right? So he knows the challenge, but he's going to be addressing a mentality. Barry Grossmith, we have to give this man time. We must get behind him. I have a feeling this might just work. Gary, I'm with you. I'm always supportive of a new manager because I want to support. You got to be insane not to want a new manager to succeed, right? And I fully believe that. I fully believe you've got to get behind him, right? But it really depends what is shown, what comes back. If we can see really bad mistakes and tactical, problems straight away, and we're getting slaughtered, I'd have kind of little patience for that, right? But in terms of just wanting our manager to do well and getting behind him, 100%, get in there. And I think he's saying the right things. But then again, the sound is, the thing is, all managers can say the same. The sound on this video is way too low. I don't know what to tell you. You maybe just have to turn the volume up on your your machine or whatever you're listening to. Turn up the volume. That's what it is. That's usually an easy fix, isn't it? Listen, the volume here for Nuno is very positive based upon what he said. And it's just the short little words. It's not the full interview I'm talking about. I'm talking about those individual little words, about giving opposition hell when they come to London Stadium or whenever we play them, when we go their teams. It's about building blocks, about the players understanding where we're at. The players have got to understand that what they were doing for Potter and for Lopetegui and for Moyes is not good enough. That's not the way you play football. That's not the way you build an identity. He was talking about bringing an identity to West Ham as well. Building blocks, identity, knowing where we're at. And this is like a wake-up call for all those players. This is a wake-up call for the ownership to say, look, we've got somebody in here who's actually going to shake it all up and turn it around. It doesn't mean anything in terms of are they going to change things, right? Or are you going to bring us results? But it's a very good starting point. Sound is fine for me, Paul. Michelle, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Let us know what you think in the comments below or in the chat or whatever. I've actually gone on longer than I thought I was going to go on for. Purely just a reaction to that. I feel good about it. I feel good about what he's just said. I've got to say, I still reserve judgment on what he's going to produce and how our players react. And if we go up to Everton on Monday night and get spanked 4-0, and our performance is actually really crap as well, then I'm going to be asking questions. Of course I am. But, especially if we go to Arsenal and it's the same thing, especially if we go to Brentford, it's the same thing and nothing changes, then you say, well, actually, we've got an even bigger problem than Nuno can't even address, let alone fix. And this could see, problems. But am I right? Would love to see Nuno straight away drop James Ward-Prowse. I cannot see him playing James Ward-Prowse. I would be so shocked if James Ward-Prowse even features. I'll be surprised if he's even on the bench. He might be on the bench, but I doubt he'd be on the... Let's face it, under James Ward-Prowse for Nottingham Forest, he started playing him, and then he didn't even feature on the bench. He completely dropped him as well. And play Magasser Potts. Yeah, I'd like to see that as well. Marshall, again, I've been saying this as well. Why not? They all need to rocket up their ass. 100%. And this is why I loved it, that Nuno was saying that the players have got to know where they're at now, or where we are at now. This is it. I think it was the key. It's key words here. And this is why I'm a student of listening to people and what they actually say, and those key words. The key words is we've got to give opposition hell. We've got to give them a fight. There cannot be any easy matches for them. And all the players have got to understand that what they've been doing up until now is just not fucking good enough. It's as simple as that. And regardless of what style of football that we get for the next couple of months, 3 months, 5 months, whatever it is into the end of the season, that's what I'm expecting Nuno Espirito Santo to make sure that these players deliver a fight, deliver a performance. Because as West Ham fans, if at the very least That's what we want. If we can't have attractive football, at least we have a fight. And anybody who thinks that, oh, we're entitled to attractive football, that's always what we've had. We haven't. We've had years and years of not having attractive football. You know, and we've had some years where we have, and I'm going back to the 60s and 70s and 80s. We've had some years where we've had good football. Some games we've had great football. Other times we haven't. But what we've always had is an abundance of players that really wanted to try and gave it all. Not in every game, granted, but they always gave it a really good go. And I tell you what, this is what we've been lacking for a long time. And maybe Nuno is that man to say, look, don't mess with me. Don't fuck around with me. Do as I say. This is what we're going to do. And maybe we'll get this fighting spirit back. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts. Got to say, hey, stop watching me. Honestly, stop watching me. Go watch the interview for Nuno Espirito Santo on West Ham and let us know your thoughts. But as I say, I was impressed with what he said. You know, am I completely sold? No, of course not. You know, I haven't seen him in action yet. I don't know how we're going to square up against any other teams, but I tell you what, for now, I'm happy. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do, well, keep on watching. Catch you again. Bye now.